Hey rollers, welcome back to the channel. I have you in my garage today. First and foremost, I am sanding down a ton of old picket fences that I permanently borrowed from my husband when he took it down from the side of our house. And I'm also sanding down these chunky wood pieces from our 5-quarter store. They've just all been cut into random sizes. I'm using a 180 grit sandpaper first, as well as a 220. Then we're going to come back into my craft room and look. The first set has been painted with, I think it's DIY paint or Dixie, but no, I'm sorry. It is going to be with ivory paint. So I'm thinking that's Waverly ivory paint. And then we're going to grab this rice paper. Now this image did come from Sammy over at Unicorn Dust Design. She designed this and I have access to it. And then all I did was I have rice paper and I printed it out on my inkjet printer. I'm grabbing some liquid patina from DIY paint that I also get from Sammy on her website. And I'm going to put the liquid patina down first, and then I'm going to wipe it onto the image. I'm going to spritz it down and then go downward little by little. Now you don't have to use liquid patina. You can use your what is it called? Your item of choice for doing, what is this called? Decoupage medium of choice. So Mod Podge, any other medium. I just actually like this product. I'm not a decoupager. I know a little bit of nothing when it comes to this stuff. So I am just really learning as I go. You see me removing here the, what is this called? Sunflower. I do not like sunflowers. Personal reasons for that. So please don't get me, for you sunflower lovers. That is just a thing. Okay, I'm just removing it and then removing all the sides that I don't want and then continuing. You saw me miss my paper at first and then I stopped doing that only because as I was missing it, I noticed that the ink was actually bleeding. So I decided not to continue doing that at all. So we're going to just continue going down at that. And then you're going to leave it to the side to dry thoroughly. Once that's done drying, you're going to grab your sander and sand in a downward motion to get the clean edges off. So I guess I really didn't need to rip the sides when I first started. Anyway, lessons learned. Like I said, I don't know. I know a little bit of nothing when it comes to decoupaging. So bear with me as I learn this process. Okay, so we're going to do all three of those. I'm only going to show you this first one and then bring all the pieces in. Now, when I did this piece, this gluing of the three pieces together, I did that off camera because my kids were using my room for tutoring. Anywho, I got this chunky piece because I noticed from Dollar Tree as well. So, because I noticed that it was not actually shelf sitting like I wanted it to. So I had to go in and grab a thicker piece. I will be later on nailing everything down off camera so that it'll sit better. It'll actually stay better. For now, I'm just using hot glue throughout this whole process. You guys know how I feel about hot glue. Anyway, I grabbed this gray wax because with these type of paints, whether you're using Dixie Belle, DIY, or Waverly, they need to be sealed. So I'm grabbing this gray wax because it went with the decoupage paper to seal my product, my design, DIY, and it looked really good and I needed to seal. Now these sticks I grabbed from somebody's yard on my way to pick up my kid from school, and I knew it was going to be perfect for these products. And these are going to be my peduncles. I love that word. Or in another world, stems for our pumpkins. So we're going to just glue them on here. You can use hot glue, wood glue, whichever. I think I did both. So anywho, we're going to add some accessories. Now this is just a piece of burlap that I just cut off. I think this one was from our Wally World. I'm just going to grab a piece of this leather rope, and then we're just going to scrunch it in the middle, fray some of the edges. Guys, I don't do ribbon, bows, or nothing like that. I know very little. I can do this and I can do a messy bow. That is the extent of my bow making skills. Okay, we're going to wrap that around the middle, tie it off nicely, and of course it's going to rip right when I go to make it because I pull too hard. Don't do like me. Just do like I'm telling you, and that is it. See, it came out so pretty because I can do that. Okay, we're gonna glue it down, and then we're going to glue down that little piece. And so I was trying to figure out if I wanted to add any other pieces. We're gonna tack it down in different areas because I didn't want it coming up, and my big head always getting in the way of the camera. Sorry, guys. So I wanted to see if I wanted to add other pieces. Of course, I'm gonna decide that I didn't like it. It just seemed a little too much. So my other 3 pumpkins are a no-go. All right, moving on to our next piece. I painted this one white because I really thought I was gonna do one idea and then I scrapped that idea. Guys, it's okay if we do that because paint is just paint. So I'm gonna grab cherry picked from DIY Paints and we're gonna paint over all of this. Front, back, side, left, and right. The whole thing. Isn't that a pretty color? It's an odd color, definitely, but I think it's perfect for fall. So just paint all of it. Then we're going to take her back outside, and with the 220 grit sandpaper, we're going to sand it down and bring back some of that white color underneath. And you're going to be like, Ro, why'd you paint it then? It's okay. I just wanted to distress it. And look how pretty. You got 2 color tones. That gorgeous wood grain showing underneath it. Now let's seal it with some clear wax. And isn't she pretty? It looks darker now, but it will go back to its natural original color. It's not going to stay this dark. And we're going to bring back our little sticks and we're going to cut it down with this. I don't know what it's called, but oh my gosh, it is so hard for me to cut these things. Anywho, so we're going to grab some raffia. This one I get from Hobby Lobby. It's been sitting in my stash forever and a day. I don't use moss, green moss, tacky, whatever color, Spanish moss, because I have a sensory issue and that thing just, I can't. So we're going to trim this down, and I just tied it and made a bow looking thing. And we're going to cut it off, cut the trims, basically give it a little haircut to make it look like something like a bow. I don't know, but you guys understand what I'm trying to say, right? Just fluff it up. So to me, I told my daughter that now it looks like the pumpkin has a little mustache. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day and it's 100 degrees here in Georgia. Like, why? Okay, so we're going to glue it down. And then here is where I say you can personalize it all you want. So I'm showing you all these words that I have. Most of these are from Hobby Lobby, and there was a couple options later on that you're going to see. 2 of them came from Joann's. I'm not sure that Joann's carry these anymore because these had been on clearance for like 25 cents a few years back. But if you wanted to add them, you can. I'm going to leave mine completely blank, but it is an option. Or you can always do vinyl if you want to. That's a little big. But that family one, I think, is from Dollar Tree, but I'm not sure. But anyway, that is, of course, an option. All right, these are the chunky blocks, 12-inch ones. I had my husband cut these down to 6 inches. I painted this with cherry picked, and then the other one I painted with, I think, gypsy green. And once I finished painting them, of course, I noticed that I did not paint the bottom. While I was looking at them, the paint was still wet, and I noticed that it was a little bland. So over the cherry picked, I'm going to add the gypsy green, and over the gypsy green, I'm going to add the cherry pick. Does that make sense? I just needed some dimension, and what better way to do the opposite paint on the other one. So it's just a blending process, and if you're not that good with blending, you just use the wet paint while it's wet to use the other paint. It doesn't really matter, and if you don't like the end result, just paint over with your original paint color. These beads, I don't know where I got them from, honestly. Maybe Amazon, and we are just going to use those for the peduncle of our blocks. And I did make these bows. I can make a finger bow. I learned that from Sammy. That's about the extent of my bow making besides a messy bow. Don't they look cute? We're gonna go ahead and string some beads on these babies, and then once we're done, we're going to put them on there. And honestly, guys, this is just as simple as it gets. Honestly, I think they look like Lego people, but let me know what you guys think about them. They're so simple to make. You can have your grandkids and your kids make these and just have a blast. Very simple. I've got this sea spray that I've had from a friend of mine that sells the Dixie Belle paint that I've never used before. So I'm going to try it with this DIY paint. And it's the same thing as using, it's a baking soda, whatever it's called, and the other one from the DIY paint. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, all you're going to do is add it to your paint. It's an additive that thickens up your paint to give you that beautiful texture. So this was just a trial for me, and you're just going to dab it onto your product that you're painting on. Really just that simple. I actually wasn't sure if I liked it when I first did it because I was like, when it's wet, it looks kind of weird. You're going to see what I mean here in a little bit. So you just dab it everywhere. The top, the front, the bottom, the left, the right, all over. So see how I have more texture on the right picket and then less on the left one. And so this is how you see the difference between the non-texture and the texture. So we're going to grab another chunky block and we're going to add that to the back so that this will stand on its own. We're also going to put one on the tops as well. The ruler is just there for me to make sure that everything is where I need it to be, because you know your girl is kind of crooked. Okay, so then we're going to grab some more sticks. I think these were a little bit smaller, not as big, and we're going to grab this torture device. I don't know why everybody makes it seem like it's so easy. Is there a blade to change this thing out with? Because yeah, I've got so many questions about this thing. You know, miter shears, is that what they're called? Miter shears? I don't know. So we're going to glue this back on. We're going to glue this on with our hot glue. You can also use wood glue, and then we're going to use our black wax. You can use any wax that you want. I was supposed to use clear wax and then put on the black wax, but I forgot. And because I needed this, it looked flat and boring even with the texture, but look how much better it looks with that black wax. Now it really looks like a pumpkin, doesn't it? It looks gorgeous. And of course, here's my issue with, glue, hot glue. And then later on, it does come out and you'll see it in the reveal that you'll see the wood glue drying because, anyway. So here's our last one. We're going to paint with fire starter. And what we're going to do here is 6 pieces. We're going to glue 2 pieces together and then 2. So 4 pieces are going to get glued on top of each other, right? I hope that makes sense. So you'll see it. And then 2 other pieces are going to be left by itself. Don't do like I do and glue all 6 pieces, 2 pieces, 2 pieces, 2 pieces, okay? Because then I have to struggle to get the other 2 pieces apart. Luckily, because the boards were bowed, and there is a crack right there because I messed up when I went to nail them. And yeah, we're not going to go into that. So this is the spool I bought at an antique store, and I cut one of them to make my peduncle. And then I realized that I wanted to put it in here so without having to hot glue it in there. So I grabbed some popsicle sticks, I glued those inside and to fill in the space so that the spool would fit in there better. So I can just shove it in there. Does that make sense? You guys can see what I'm doing, right? Bam. There you go. Now, perfect fit, right? Yeah, bro. See all that gap right there? Now my pumpkin has like really pretty character. I don't even know what I'm saying, guys. You guys understand what I'm trying to say. Now we're going to grab some more of this raffia and we're going to shove it in there, and that's going to be what covers up the rest of the spacing right there, because again, no Spanish moss, grass. I don't want to use grass, so this is going to be my pretend filler for grass. We're gonna just you're just gonna put in as much or as little as you want, and that's going to be the end of this. Oh no, I lied, sorry guys. We're gonna grab this Harvest tag faux leather that I got from Dollar Tree many years ago. I don't know if they still have these, guys. I haven't seen them in the store this year, but I could be wrong, so I don't know. There was like 2 different versions of these. I think the other one has gather on it. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna put it on there, and we're going to tack it down just with a small dab of hot glue. I've been using hot glue a lot in this video. Y'all should give me props because that is a rarity. Like, what? Dang, that hot glue. And yes, I did burn myself, come to think about it, several times. A lot of burnt fingers in the making of this video, but for the love of, you know. Anywho, look how pretty she is. And this is the final reveal of how everything came out. I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite, but so far everything has been staged. Let me know which one was your favorite. And if you guys have already started decorating, to be honest with you, it is not fall yet here in Georgia. It is still burning hot like a dragon's breath here. So, but I thought that I would start off fall for you guys on my channel now at the end of August. So let me know what you guys think of these beautiful rustic farmhouse pumpkins. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching my videos and for being a Craftacular family. And if you have not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, because I would love for you to go ahead and hit and hug on that subscribe button so that you can know anytime I upload a new video. Thank you guys. Bye.